Okay, so here's a quick look at the hard drives. These happen to be Western Digital's. I'm definitely partial to them above other companies. However, that's just their hard drives. I cannot, under any circumstance, recommend any of their external products, especially, most especially, the Western Digital Share Space. If you happen to be shopping for that at the moment, don't buy it. The thing is monstrously oversold. For the advertising, it doesn't live up to anything that they state. But other than that, that's a whole nother story. The hard drives themselves, I love them. Western Digital's got really good return policy out of... I've only ever bought 2 non-Western Digitals in the last 15 years. They were Seagates, one of them died, and I lost 300 gigs of data. So that was a lot of fun. But I've had a few Western Digitals die over the years as well. This is probably the 20th or 30th set of drives that I've bought from them. They come in these anti-static packs. Just rip them open. And here we go. Nice and happy and pretty technology. So over on the back here, jumper pins. This is old-time technology. The old Molex connectors used to go on this side, and this used to be an IDE port, but they've replaced it with the power for the SATA and the information for the SATA. There are 2 ways to connect a hard drive to the computer. There's the side slots here, the screw holes, and then there's these 4 bottom ones as well on the corners. And if it's in shot here, so these are just going to slide. Ah, I see. So typically these would simply slide in. There'd be little grooves to hold them down. But this motherboard actually includes these clips. And you should always put a hard drive down on a little bit of anti-static material. So these slide rails here are basically for fast swapping your drives out. We get 2 per drive, so these will fit in something like that and something like this. Beautiful. And from here we should just simply be able to do something like nice. So you could set this up either way, so the power ports are on the front or the back. It doesn't really matter. In this case, I want all the power on the front for easy connections and easy pulling out. So yeah, we've got 3 of these here, so let's put a couple of them in. There's one other thing I'll show you before I put the final 3rd one in. All told, I'm getting another 3 of these to throw in here. I'm going to set up a RAID setup, which is redundant array of independent drives. So basically it'll take all these drives and make them act as one big one. One big fast one, in fact, which is really going to be helpful. If any single drive fails in a RAID setup, you can pull it out, you won't lose any data, slap the new one in, it'll rebuild itself, and you're up and running again. Now there's only 6 ports here, and I'm going to be putting 8 drives in. The 6 here are going to be the main storage system for myself, and then 2 others I am going to slot up top here. Now these are 5 1/4 inch bays up top, and these are 3 1/2 inch bays on the side. So you can see that there's really a lot of wiggle room here. And the only way to get a drive like this to fit in a space like that is with what are called rails. Not like these slide rails here. These are more metal like this. These 2 came with the case itself. And what happens is these get attached to, there we go. This gets attached to the side of the drive, and Then you slide this entire assembly in up there, and it's all nice and happy. They come in a few different kinds. These happen to be cheap tin. And then we have goldish looking plated cheap tin, which fits on like probably this right here. So they don't necessarily have to be even. You can set them at the front or the back depending. As it happens, this one here, is that the right side? Oh, those don't quite want to line up, and that certainly doesn't fit that way. Well, that's the basic idea behind rails. And if you don't have rails, you may even come across something like this. In this case, you can attach it on the side with the screws. I want to put this in nice and gently here. And that would sit like this, or as you can see, there happen to be screw holes here, so you can at least attach 2 of those. It doesn't look like you can fit all 4 though. But 2 is generally speaking going to be enough. And as a general policy, you may be able to see on this side up here, there's a hole here and a hole here. So typically when you put a drive in, you match up any 2, but usually I'll just use 1 screw on one corner and another screw on the other corner, and that's usually enough to stabilize it. Sometimes I'll go with 3, 1 on the back, 2 on the front, because usually drives are inserted this way, not this way. So if you want to take a drive out, you got to pull the far side of the case off. And that can just get to be a hassle really quickly. But these slide rails here, I really like this. This is nice. I think this is the first computer I've ever had that came with those. That's really freaking sweet. I like that a lot. I wish I had the other drives with me to be able to slot them in now. But that's going to be it for this one. Damn, I do love that. That is really nice. So the power cables here will essentially get plugged in right there for all of these. Then I'll get the SATA data cables. Those will go here and then plug into the motherboard up there. And everything will be happy. So that is it for this installment. I'll do the graphics card in its own installment simply because there can be a little bit of a minor trick to that, but that's pretty much going to be it for all the cards that get thrown into this case at all. And what I'll have to do is pull off one of those back ports there that will line up properly with this connector. That'll get kicked in, and this computer will be just about ready to rock. I still got a little ways to go. As I mentioned, I'm going to be pulling some hard drives out of my old computer, and I still have to make sure there's nothing on those that I want so I can wipe them out, and I'll go from there. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. See ya.